This week in Jamaica Now.
The problem that the PNP have is that it fund them. It fund them. It fund them.
We win when them count the ball at them and we have more than the Labour right. That's when we win.
Almost there. Jamaicans are 2 days away from the opening of polls for local government elections. Final poll before the elections has the JLP and the PNP in a dead heat. 6 men killed in 2 crashes on the North Coast Highway, and NCB to pay back millions of dollars to staff after losing a profit share scheme case at the Privy Council. I'm Jovan Johnson and this is Jamaica Now. The first votes have been cast in the 2023 local government elections. Members of the security forces and election day workers voted on Thursday. A total of 40,514 special services electors were eligible to vote. The general population will vote on Monday, February 26. Meanwhile, the campaigns of the 2 main political parties, the ruling Jamaica Labour Party JLP and the opposition People's National Party PNP, are winding down with final spot meetings scheduled for this Saturday all over the island. And the JLP and the PNP are in a dead heat heading into Monday's elections. That's according to the latest Jamaica Gleaner Communications Group commissioned Don Anderson poll, which involved 1,010 registered voters from all 14 parishes. 24% of the participants said they will vote for the JLP, while 23% said they are supporting the PNP. The poll was conducted between February 2 and February 7 and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. Only 1% of the participants registered their intent to vote for the independent candidates. The participants who said they are harboring no thoughts of voting and those who remain unsure amounted to 26% each. Meanwhile, in St. Thomas, in the closing days of the campaign, JLP leader and Prime Minister Andrew Holness continued to urge his supporters to ignore claims from such man that the local elections are a referendum on the national government.
This election is a local government election. It is not an election to determine who is the Prime Minister and your member of Parliament. It is an election to determine the representatives who have responsibilities for local, municipal and infrastructure issues. So municipal issues like your garbage collection and infrastructure issues like your local roads, your parish council roads and your local water supply. That is what this election is about. Because of political desperation and opportunism, such man has tried to turn this into a national election. I don't know the wisdom in that political calculus, because what it has done is to go and stir up Labour Party and
PNP President Mark Golding has argued that the local government elections will be a referendum on the performance of the Holness administration. And Mr. Holness has asserted that he is good for Jamaica.
Since I have been Prime Minister, Jamaica is better off. Since my leadership of this country, you can tick that box. Unemployment is no longer a problem because the Jamaican economy is absorbing the labor. People used to complain about taxes. Every year under the PNP is a new tax. When last year about a new tax? Not like that. You can tick that box. You have a stable economy. So my leadership has made a difference, objectively. And the problem that the PNP have is that it fund them. It fund them. It fund them.
Meanwhile, Mr. Golding continues to claim that Jamaicans will use the election to send a signal to the JLP administration.
The people of Jamaica want better. First of all, they want a government that they can have trust and confidence in. A government that don't come for scrape for themselves, them friends, them cronies. A government that uses the people's resources only for the people and not for anybody else. And they want a government that will have policies to uplift the people and to set the country right so we can have a better future for our generation and for future generations. We need to fix the education system because it's not performing for the people. We need to fix agriculture so we can be a breadbasket for the region, because food security is a real thing in this era of climate change, and Jamaica is blessed with the best products and the best food kind, but we need to get the thing right for our farmers. All comrades, take this thing very, very serious. I don't want to hear nobody tell me say we win already, because I've heard that before and nothing never did go for them. We win when them count the ballot them and we have more than the Labour right. That's when we win.
Mr. Golding was speaking in Portmore St. Catherine on Sunday, where he expressed condolences to the family of Lamar Gray, a 15-year-old who died after falling from a bus in a motorcade in Southborough. Meanwhile, the PNP released its manifesto for the local government elections on Thursday. The party is promising to overhaul how accountability is exercised within municipal corporations, saying it will require them to publish their budgets annually. The PNP says it will also mandate quarterly press briefings by all mayors and CEOs of municipal corporations to update citizens on activities involving maintenance and repair of roads, drains, verges, garbage collection and public cleansing activities. The PNP says it will pursue direct elections of mayors, fixed election dates. The JLP did not release its manifesto up to Friday afternoon, although it said a week ago that the document was completed. And Auditor General Pamela Monroe-Ellis issued 22 disclaimer opinions to several municipal corporations for their failure to properly account for billions of dollars spent or in their possession. The findings were made in the Auditor General's annual report to Parliament, which was released earlier this year. In one instance, the Auditor General said that for the fiscal period spanning 2006 to 2014, the St. James Municipal Corporation was unable to provide proper accounting records to support expenditure of more than $5.6 billion and revenue of more than $3.9 billion. For the period 2003 to 2007 and again 2007 to 2012, the Jamaica Labour Party had majority control of the St. James Municipal Corporation. However, for the period 2012 to 2016, the People's National Party controlled the municipality. The Manchester Municipal Corporation was also found wanting, having spent $2.5 billion over the period 2013 to 2017, but was unable to approve sufficient appropriate accounting records. The PNP controlled the Manchester municipality over the four-year fiscal period spanning 2013 to 2017. The Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, is reporting that the economy grew by an estimated 1.9% during the October to December 2023 quarter compared with a similar period in 2022. PIOJ Director General Dr. Wayne Henry gave the update at a quarterly press briefing on Wednesday.
The estimated outturn for the review quarter largely reflected the impact of 1. Higher levels of employment, which drove firms to increase operations to meet the growth in demand. 2. Increased productive capacity in the mining and quarrying industry, which facilitated an increase in alumina production. And 3. Increased consumer confidence associated with the perceived favorable prospects for job opportunities. Real sector developments. Developments in the goods producing industry. The goods producing industry is estimated to have expanded by 2.3% due to improved performances in 3 of the 4 industries, namely agriculture, forestry and fishing, mining and quarrying, and construction.
And the Bank of Jamaica Governor Richard Bals says inflation, which is an increase in the prices of goods and services, is to remain higher than targeted until next year. Inflation over the 12 months ending January 2024 currently hovers at 7.4%, which is above the target range of 4.0 to 6.0%. 6 men died in 48 hours in 2 crashes on the North Coast Highway in Trelawney this week. In the first incident, 4 men traveling in a Toyota Mark X died after the car collided with an Audi Q3 motorcar at a stoplight at the intersection of the highway and the Danieltown Main Road. The persons from the Audi were treated at hospital. The deceased have been identified as 23-year-old fisherman Kimani Thompson, 24-year-old photographer Andre Gonzalez, and 25-year-old Jason Reed, a lifeguard, all from Trelawney. The 4th victim is 24-year-old Marco Williams from Ocho Rios in St. Ann. The police say Mr. Thompson was reportedly driving the Mark X towards Falmouth when, upon reaching the intersection, he collided with the Audi, which was attempting to make a right turn. And 2 men were killed in the second incident on Tuesday morning. Their identities have not been released. The collision involved a Toyota Axio and a Toyota Voxy. The area had been experiencing heavy rainfall. Former National Commercial Bank NCB Wealth Advisor Kadeen Thomas pleaded guilty to fraud involving $75 million at the financial giant. Ms. Thomas is to be sentenced on June 12. The 35-year-old, who worked at NCB's St. Anne's Bay branch, pleaded guilty on Wednesday to 31 counts of uttering forged documents and 3 counts of larceny. She transferred sums from the accounts of 3 customers between May 21, 2019 and December 20, 2022. And the National Commercial Bank lost its case at the Privy Council in a 22-year legal fight with workers who are seeking to get millions of dollars from a profit share scheme. The Privy Council is Jamaica's final court of appeal. The bank was appealing a decision of the local Court of Appeal to uphold a 2017 court ruling by then Supreme Court Justice Brian Sykes. Justice Sykes ruled that the scheme formed part of the NCB employees' contracts of employment, but he said the NCB was wrong to make a deduction in 2002 that brought profits below the threshold that would have resulted in a payout to staff. The deduction was made for minority interests. The bank had also challenged an order to pay interest from 2002 until the date of payment. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on notification, and subscribe today. I'm Jovan Johnson, and before we go, with the local government elections now just days away, let's look back at some of the highlights from the campaign period.
Take back local government control and set the thing for national control on the 26th. People's National Party back and up and running again. Yes, man. Want to do that for the youth.
When I entered politics to make a difference. My being in politics must mean something not just different, but better for Jamaica. And I can say that since I have been Prime Minister, Jamaica is better off.
I never realized the size of that motorcade till people are telling me about it. But me I tell you, it was gigantic and enormous. And it shows that the people are ready for change. And when we say time come for change, we're serious about that. Because the people of Jamaica want better.
And the problem that the PNP have is that it bun them. It bun them. It bun them.